After spending a Thursday getting scalding burns due to the news, Ian Rappaport's put the bomb on.
Rich,
and we turned the page on this Friday. Ian, good to see you.
Yeah.
Take it away, sir.
I will take it away, Rich. No puns today, just some breaking news for the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford, their starting quarterback, who led them to a Super Bowl, but was, I would say, up in the air a little bit this year. His agent had permission to talk to the Raiders, talk to the Giants, talked about potentially a new deal, look at all the options, see the landscape. He is headed back to Los Angeles. My understanding is Stafford and the Rams had a meeting today, presented him with some new contract terms. They have a basic understanding of where the deal will likely come in, should be finalized over the next couple weeks. All of that to be determined, but most important here, with all the talk of the quarterback carousel here in Indy, Matthew Stafford will remain a member of the Rams.
And that is a major piece of the puzzle on the quarterback front that is just taken off the chessboard by Les Snead and Sean McVay and the Rams front office, and we'll discuss that obviously all day tomorrow with the quarterbacks out there. Stacey Dale's also part of this broadcast team. You take it away, please.
Yeah, Rich, and a player who's going to be used as a chess piece all over the board, of course, is the unicorn, Travis Hunter, out of Colorado, and you're not going to see him work out here today with the defensive backs, nor are you going to see him work out with the wide receivers tomorrow. But I can assure you, if he had decided to work out, which we all selfishly would have loved, he would have wanted to do such as both a cornerback and a wide receiver. On the screen there is his podium and riser this week. It was the most packed of all the players here at the Combine thus far. And I will tell you guys, I asked him this week, I said, why did you decide to come to the Combine as a cornerback? And he said, interestingly to me, I did not choose that. I said, well, what? Who chose that? He said, I don't know who chose that. He wants to be known and listed as a cornerback and wide receiver. And essentially, he hopes the plan is that for whichever team drafts him, they'll decide which side of the ball he goes to, and he is able to earn it on the other side of the ball for the right to play. But pretty cool, guys. He's here today to celebrate all these DBs and his brothers in the Combine.
Yeah,
Rich.
he should have with that DB15, he should also have WO23, which is what he would have been if alphabetically if he was here.
100%.
He should have the first ever dual sort of gear issued by the Combine. And just before we get to the 40-yard dashes, who is the one who decides that? Is it the scouting teams that are here? Like, who decides?
It's the Combine with feedback from the teams.
Right.
And then teams will then put in requests if he's listed at another position to see him do drills on the other side of the ball.
So I guess there were no requests for that because they figured he's not going to do drills.
Matter.
It doesn't matter,
doesn't
right?
matter.
Okay, so here we go. Our first 40 of this Friday and of the cornerback class. Again, just like yesterday, the defensive line group was split up between tackles and edges. This is split up between corners and safeties, corners being typically faster. B.J. Adams is the first up. And UCF's B.J. Adams is a 4.5, 4.40 to start us off.
It's interesting. I'm looking at my notes on B.J. Adams and kind of going through it, and he can read, plant and drive. Nice pick six against Iowa State. Got destroyed by Travis Hunter. So it was like just coming off Travis Hunter. You're going to see Travis Hunter has done some damage to both groups here with the wide receivers and the corners.
So there is film of that corner that just started with the corner of DB1 being torched by DB15 as a wideout.
That's what's crazy.
Unbelievable. Zy Alexander of LSU, the second 40.
He's a big corner.
5'6".
So the numbers we're shooting for here, if you just go last year and let's take interceptions and forced incompletions and put those together, those corners, the top 10, the average was a 4.4, 140. Size-wise, just a little over 6 foot, 6 foot and 1/8, 192 pounds. So those are kind of some target numbers and areas we're looking at.
Trey Amos of Ole Miss.
And this is an important number for him.
Why is that?
Because that is the only question, is the pure deep speed. Because he is smooth and fluid, outstanding instincts, can find and play the ball. It's literally just, okay, how fast is he? Because in the LSU game, they got on top of him a little bit. So this is a big one.
The number for Trey Amos. 4.46.
That is phenomenal.
So that checks a major box for him.
And this, this group here, when you think about the combine and 40s, and I know people say, well, let's just grade them off the field and the tape. The 40 matters for this position more than any other in the entire combine.
Here's a guy who loves big, long corners right there. It's Pete Carroll. And here is number 9 overall on your draft board, Daniel Jeremiah.
I just love the way he plays. I mean, he plays all over the field. I like him best as a nickel, and he can play the ball. He does not miss tackles. He's tough and physical. I just love his overall play demeanor and playmaking.
Dave Bryan, Barron of Texas. Off he goes.
Yeah,
he's going to stop. Might as well just start again. Let's see what we got.
Take your time.
Mike McDaniel. I mean, did he
Take your time.
just pick up that hat somewhere?
I'm cool.
I mean, no. Listen, Mike. We can at least give you the Rob Lowe NFL hat if that's what we're going to do here. Okay. It's stylish. What's in that book?
Oh, that's the scouting book. So
you
you give them for all the coaches and everything. So
we're just looking for his
information.
next hat in that book. Oh, baby. Just look to my left. This is going to be fun. Just resetting here. One of the best available in this year's draft out of Texas. Off he goes. Barron's first 40. It's a 4.4 flat.
That's a fantastic time. For example, I talked about Branch. Branch relied more on those instincts and ran 4.58. He just ran 4.4 flat. And for those wondering, can he hold up outside at corner? We know at nickel what he can do. Now you're looking, saying, okay, he's got a shot to hold up outside if we want to play him out there.
Do you go with a new comp now, or no, not so much?
To me, the toughness, the instincts, the playmaking, that was what I saw there. So that's why I'll stick with that.
And what a stud Branch has been for Detroit on the back end. One of the few guys that avoided the dreaded IR for Detroit all year long.
They got beat up.
Here is Kobe Bryant of Kansas. His full name is Jacoby, but yes, he was named after Kobe Bryant. Different spelling, obviously. And he is a 4.55 40. Chris Rose, take it away on the Concourse set.
Rich, thank you very much. Joined by Peter Schrager from Good Morning Football and DB 27 back in 1987 at the NFL Scouting Combine.
Well, that feels like a long time ago, only because it was.
Wasn't Rod Woodson near your group?
Yeah, absolutely destroyed mine.
Whatever happened to him?
You know, I think he went on and did a few things.
Yeah, not bad. Peter, what are you looking forward to today?
You didn't ask me about my combine. Okay.
I know about it.
DJ opened this up. We got all these guys running. I think it's going to be the Max Hairston show, and that's going to happen in a couple different players. DJ said he might be the fastest defensive back in the. I think he might be the fastest player at the combine. So while we haven't done the big blowout explanation about it, this might be that moment when Hairston gets up. But Burke just ran a nice 4.48.
Yeah, he's one of 15 Buckeyes here from the national champions.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, let's go with one of the teams that's not a power 4. Let's go with Caleb Ransaw out of Tulane, who I think is going to run really, really fast. Nice nickel, fluid, strong at the point of attack. And then how about Quincy Riley, who we got to see at the Senior Bowl? Toughness, ball skills. Thought about coming out last year, had an ankle injury, decided to stay in school. I think that's going to pay off for him well.
CD will be timing your steps down to the field when you check out the cornerbacks firsthand down there on the turf. For the meantime,
sundial.
Oh, that's all right. We'll be running a solid clock on you.
Through the hourglass.
Rich, back to you.
Another Kansas Jayhawk, Mello Dotson, getting ready to run his 40-yard dash after we just saw the Ohio State's Denzel Burke.
9 picks the last 2 years for Dotson.
4.6 flat. And here we go. We go from Mello to hello. Pat McAfee, ladies and gentlemen.
How you doing, Rich? How you doing, DJ? Boys? No, don't need it. Thank you. Everybody here is fantastic. Thank you for having me. DJ, your Super Bowl. Rich, your what year?
22nd.
You're a legend. I love spending the weekend with you boys, watching people do magnificent things on a football field like we're seeing here today.
Well, it's only fitting. We're finishing the home and home. We were on your show yesterday together.
Great appearance out of you guys.
There we had a lot of fun.
That was the first time Ian Rappaport spoke about the Starbucks stare down. Obviously, that is big-time journalism. And
the tail of the tape that you had was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, there is an unlimited wealth on one side of that whole thing. Zah Frazier trying to earn himself a little bit of that. What a run.
4.39.
4.39.
Meet.
You can get a Starbucks franchise out of that.
I think so, especially if you're able to put together a few years, which is a big part of the combine. DJ, I want to know your thoughts on this. Obviously, the 40 is a big deal, especially at the DB position. Are they projecting if they can play long-term with the speed? Are they projecting if they can play right now? What are your thoughts on how important this 40 is?
Well, I think for right now, jumping right in, good question, Pat.
And this kid, too, right here.
This is it right here.
Table it, because let's look at this one. Let's watch this one.
Now, you think Maxwell Hairston of Kentucky has got a shot here
at the record? He can go under 4.3. He's
all right, here we go.
He's legit fast.
Pat McAfee here. Maxwell Hairston there. You where you are watching.
Oh. That's my guy. He's been doing like 20 NFL combines. He's from Pittsburgh. I think his name's Mark.
Mark Gorsick.
Yeah. Dog.
You never really
the high school center for Joe Montana.
Okay, because it was still rising up. Just be still if you're off half 3 times. Okay, man?
Slow it down a little bit.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate the hell out of him. Good Yinzer right there, which obviously the Hall of Fame is littered with Yinzers. And
True.
This was one of the stories coming into the combine, right? Is Maxwell.
Yeah,
this is literally the story. One of them. Isaiah Bond said he was going to go 4.19.
There's about 3 or 4 guys I think going to go under 4.3. This is the first one.
How do humans do it, Rich? How do we get faster?
You're asking the wrong guy, pal.
Oh, yeah, I watch. Complete opposite of run, Rich, run.
Exactly right.
Run, Maxwell, run.
Here we go. Trying to reset mentally. Here we go. Maxwell Hairston.
He got out.
It's clean. Time. 4.3 flat.
That'd be so much fun to be able to do. Yeah. Round of applause. Yeah, certainly from the fine folks that have taking the trip to beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium here in glorious Indianapolis, Indiana.
That's the look, though, of a man who knows he can go faster than
Absolutely. That third step there, he actually goes left instead of staying straight. I'm no track expert, but I've watched guys run sprints.
There it is. You saw him get a little disjointed there.
So I think he knows he can go faster because he ran about 40 yards and a half.
Right there. Said it's not enough. Okay, so he gets a second run at it.
Yeah, and he's going to go faster.
That's another dude. Marcus Harris can run too, but that's not the guy you want to follow.
That's you want to be the guy who's the guy after the guy. Marcus Harris, Cal, 4.46.
Great time. Yeah, he was legit upset. Maxwell Harrison's legit not happy with the 4.3 flat.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you watch it back, you guys have done this a lot more than me. There's a little bit of a slide there. So he can go faster, even though you already got the pop at 4.3. So you got one good out in the fairway. Now your teammate can go ahead and bombs away. I think we're going to see him fly.
One out in the fairway. That's a good analogy. Bilal Kone of Western Michigan.
Michigan's a great state. The western side of it.
He's got some size, too. It's a good big corner. Usually MAC guys, too, you know what you're getting from a toughness standpoint.
Oh, yeah. NIL small. Dogs.
4.43.
Yeah, that's great. At that size.
They're burning.
He does a nice job staying attached down the field. Does a little side shuffle, butt to the sideline technique, and then he can really see it close.
I forget who told me this week during our program, which was up in the concourse. Shout out to the NFL for allowing us to be here. That was very, very kind of you guys. That they think because there's so many like track coaches at an earlier age, guys are much comfortable coming out of a stance like this for the 40-yard dash. That was you?
Yeah, that was me. But that you'll see it. I mean, you're seeing it each and every year. These guys are more and more comfortable doing this with the background that they have.
Great name, Robert Longerbeam. Rutgers.
He's striding it out.
It's the Moses Malone.
The first Moses Malone of the week.
4-4. Yeah. All right, Pat is here. Don't go anywhere. We're hanging out. We're running 40s. It's a Friday in Indy with some fast 40s already been put down. We'll see what we missed when we come back. while we were gone, Florida Gators' own Jason Marshall Jr., DB20, for those scoring at home, 4.54. And then Mac McWilliams of UCF football. Already saw B.J. Adams, his teammate, run fast. And Mac ran what? What do we got here, Jack?
We saw that exact shot right there. No time on it.
4.41.
Yeah. That looked, we were both sitting up here, all three of us said that looked fast.
Eyeballed it, yeah.
Pat McAfee
This
here.
dude can run too. Parrish is going to run fast here, guys.
Jacob Parrish, former teammate of Pat McAfee's favorite quarterback, who's here.
Absolutely.
And Will Howard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. A lot of great quarterbacks.
That was almost a whistle. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was a good falling start.
Jacob
4.36. That was a great start.
That
was a great start.
That was like one of those, like the 3-pointers. Don't shoot it. Well, he makes it. It's a good shot.
That's a good shooter.
That's a good shot.
But I think Mark was like,
I think he was wondering.
Yeah, he thought about it.
Half whistled it.
Yeah. But that dude, he plays fast, and that's a legit time for him.
Can I talk about how this is an honor to be with you guys up here?
Bro.
I'm serious. I forced my wife to watch you guys. And I assume there's a lot of people at home
I
that
think
are
that's
I
think that's a compliment.
Yeah,
it is. Yes.
It is. What did she think? No.
She, like golf, it happens, and she's like, okay, I can get into it, And hockey, same thing. And
what about this, though?
This guy's rolling here.
Darian Porter at 4.3.
whenever somebody runs a 4.3, there's a moment. Yeah, there's a moment. I'm like, babe, look, humans are doing great things. Wow. 4.3 out of Iowa State. That's great.
Stacey Dale's part of our broadcast team. Take it away, Stacey.
Yeah, Rich, I spoke with Maxwell Hairston, also known, by the way, as Mad Max. That is his nickname, after he ran the first 4.30 unofficial. And I asked him, was it good enough? I knew the answer, actually. He said, no, it ain't enough. He's going to go again. Keep this in mind. He trains at the same Exos facility as Xavier Worthy out in Phoenix.
Okay.
And so when we asked him this week, what do you think about when you think about the combine? He said Xavier Worthy with his 4.21 record-setting run that we covered last year. And he told us yesterday he was going to put on a show today. So he's got one more. We'll see what he does on the next.
Thank you very much, Stacey. So while we were listening to Stacey give us that super information, we saw another fast 40 being run right there by Caleb Ransaw of Tulane.
Caleb Ransaw is a little nickel.
Quincy Riley, 4.49.
That's good for him. He's going to be like a third, fourth round player. I think he can get in and make an impact right away, right when he gets into the NFL. Had a really nice Senior Bowl.
When you see somebody, like say Darian Porter run a 4.3 flat, does that you make a note, obviously, and then what happens to your evaluation? What do you do?
The first line in my notes here: height, weight, speed. So he indeed is big, fast, and strong.
Very fast.
Jalen Smith of USC.
He can do a lot of different things. He can play nickel. He can play outside at corner. He can play safety.
Oh, Mark saved him there.
It's the whistle.
He was a little nicked up in the spring, and their coaches were actually thought it was a good thing because they could kind of see where the hole was, see what we have, and then go, okay, we need help here. Jalen, boom, that's where you're playing.
There's Brian Gutekunst of Green Bay.
I'll tell you what, I said some bad things about that guy a few years back.
Well, I mean, you were not alone.
And
Pat,
what he has done with that program and franchise, nothing short of impressive. So I've apologized to him many a time on my program for the things that I said.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do it here on the NFL's network. I am nothing short of impressed of Gutekunst's stick-to-itiveness to his plan, no matter how much is getting lobbed his way. And the situation they are in now is great because of it. I got massive respect for him.
Favre to Rodgers to Love. You just don't see it like that.
Well, especially after the team makes the NFC Championship. So you're like one game away.
Jalen Smith, 4.45.
So you're like one game away, maybe invest. Let's get to the Super Bowl. Let's do that. To have the vision and also the relationship with Jordan Love to be like, we got to do this now. And trade into the first round to make the decision. And obviously, Aaron Rodgers was on our draft show, our spectacular, earlier that night. So for that whole thing to take place the way it did, and the amount of things we said and Mad Mel said, I mean, there was a lot of people.
Mad Mel was particularly mad about it.
Oh, buddy. Ty Schmidt was as well, I think.
I've never met Ty. I mean, I've met Mad Mel. Met some yesterday. Upton Stout of Western Kentucky.
He's rolling.
4.5
That looked
flat.
a lot faster than 4.5 flat.
It's a red car syndrome.
Oh, it's flashy.
Yeah. Great hair.
Nice shoes.
Good. Jocked. Absolutely jocked.
Dorian Strong.
He reminded me, going back to Upland Stout, I'm looking at my notes here, Ladarius Webb. Remember him?
Great player.
Some similarities there. Dorian Strong.
Virginia Tech Hokies. They returned a lot of starters this year. I thought they were going to win the ACC. Started out bad, then got hot late. Veteran leadership down there in Blacksburg.
They're well represented at the Combine. See our running back tomorrow.
4.5 flat.
It's crazy watching these schools come up because I've been incredibly lucky the last 3 years to be a part of College Game Day. And we go to all these big games and follow the college football season the way we do. So now watching the Combine, it's nice to see, like the boys.
Hey, man, I saw what you did with the prospects here for special teams. That was pretty sweet.
That was cool.
What was that like for you?
I was lucky to be a part of that. It was nice to see the boys bomb some balls. I haven't been on a field with that many punters and kickers in a long time. That's like a kicking camp, what a kicking camp looks like.
Right.
So it's nice to talk to the future a little bit. Really strong legs. Just like guys are getting faster, guys are getting stronger somehow with kicking balls. A lot of Australians, a couple Irish,
Justin
Italian.
Wally.
Wow.
Minnesota ran 4.4 flat. Did you run into some guys who told GMs that they're holders, but they're not really holders? Did you run in it and give those guys any tips on that sort of thing?
Anything you get drafted, obviously. Anything you get in the NFL, anything you get your
foot in the door.
Do you know about this story?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, small fib, I would say. But
it's the guy that needed you to hold footballs for him. He didn't amount to anything, right?
Yeah, Adam Vinatieri, greatest of all time. Yeah, that's a story that's been told a couple times. So if you've heard it before, I apologize for restating it.
Please. It's great.
I was kicker and punter at West Virginia. So the big question, if you were going to draft me as a punter, which the Indianapolis Colts inevitably would, was have I ever held before? Because I had the importance of that particular position. So he's just waxed.
4, 5, 6.
Especially with Adam Vinatieri. So I told Bill Polian right to his face. Every week I worked on it because I knew this was a possibility. And I'd never done it one time. Not once, Daniel.
Fantastic.
Not one
And by
time.
the way, some people cannot do it.
Well, that's the big issue with the international players. Actually, if we want to get into real evaluation, the international punters all have incredible legs. And if they're standing there punting it, they can turn it over. And a lot of guys figure it out. But their hands aren't as good. So they got to work on the cow again, represent.
Yeah, they got 3 guys from the secondary. They got safety coming up in the next
Noah
group.
Williams, a 4.5 flat. We're going to commercial. Thanks, buddy.
It was an honor.
Thanks, Pat.
for being on.
Can't wait to spend the weekend with you boys.
Thanks.
You guys are great.
Thanks for convincing your wife to hang out and watch a little bit, too.
All the McAfees are watching. The pressure's on here at the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. All right, here's what you missed in the commercial break. We went back to the top. This is the second run of the 40. B.J. Adams will stick with his first.
Yeah, stick with that first one. That's a huge split there. See that one very often.
Zy Alexander of LSU runs a 4.57. By the way, it was 3.8.
It would be quite a story.
I think we'd have broken into commercial. Trey Amos.
He already won for what he needed to accomplish with the 4.46, and he, even faster.
So
we've seen faster times, but that's the big winner so far based off what he did.
And here's Barron.
He looked like he kept straight on that one.
I mean,
Great
he
times.
runs a 4.4 flat 40 for a guy who is already at the top of the draft board for so many people. So we're checking boxes here. Bryant, 4.53. Okay.
Getting a little bit better, and he's got tremendous ball skills.
Let's head things to the concourse. Gents, take it away.
Rich, thank you. Charles Davis, you cover Games Weekly on CBS, and as a former cornerback, you've certainly seen things shift quite a bit in the secondary in recent years, right?
Yeah, I think we've seen this shift happening for a long time, and all of us who cover it and see it. We're talking about how many defensive backs are on the field at a given time. And for the longest time, we've talked about base defenses, right, Peter?
Yep.
Most people aren't playing base. They're going into nickel and dime and how often they're doing it. The Buffalo Bills epitomize it. They play the 4-2-5, like a college defensive alignment, 5 defensive backs, and then they'll add the 6 and the 7th when they need it. So when you're out there looking, it's not the first 2 corners you just need. That 3rd, the 4th corner, you got to have them.
By the way, Denzel Burke, very consistent, 4.48.
I'm having deja vu to last year. Xavier Worthy ran a really fast 40. Everyone freaked out, but it wasn't as fast as he wanted to go. Said, let me get another shot at this. Went and did it. I'm looking at Maxwell Hairston with that 4.3. Stacy said it. Is he going to run again? You better believe it. I think he could break 4.3. I think he maybe breaks 4.25. So I'm excited to see after Mello Dotson, we're going to get one more, and then we're going to get Hairston. Both Zoff Frazier and Hairston have been blazing. I'm curious to see if Hairston can break not only his own record, but I want to see if he can break Xavier Worthy's from last year.
I like the headline you just gave it. I'm glad you brought in Zoff Frazier.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't want to look over him.
From UTSA, remember Tariq Woolen, who had been a wide receiver, moved over to corner.
4.26,
long,
right?
willowy. He ran 4.26. Let's see what Frazier did. Frazier also had 6 interceptions last year. So these defensive backs, a lot of them flipping over from the wide receiver spot to turn into defensive corners. Frazier has been a corner his entire career, but he's built just like Woolen.
These could be the 2 fastest cats in the entire draft, this guy and the guy after him.
Yeah, you remember Woolen's ball skills his first year?
Oh, yeah, he was taking everything away that year.
Frazier, 6 interceptions last year for UTSA.
All right, Rich.
Thank you very much. Zoff Frazier ran a 4.39. And he runs us even more sub 4.40.
Yeah, and someone who is 24 years old. Charles mentioned the 6 interceptions, but he can really cover ground. I mean, the change of direction drills will be fun.
That's a road runner for sure. So, Maxwell Hairston, who ran a sub 4.40 in a 4.3 size, 4.3 flat, his first time out, and he was left shaking his head over that result. Not pleased with it. Trying to run the first sub 4.340 here at the 2025 Scouting Combine. There he goes. And he does it.
That's got to be a great feeling, not only to run fast, but when you can hear the audible oohs and ahs from the crowd as that sub 4.3 time flashes up on the screen. I love it.
4.29. It's amazing what 1/100th of a second difference will do.
Looks different, man.
The 4.3 flat, he's shaking his head. The 4.29 gets the crowd going, and then all of his group 4 friends.
There was a corner a couple years ago that was 5'11 and 7/8, 199 pounds, and he ran 4.49, and it was like those little borders that you're on.
That was fun. They're all dapping him up. 4.44 for Kone. So moments ago, our first sub 4.340 of the 2025 Scouting Combine. And it was Maxwell Hairston. Mad Max was happy Max with that result.
It's a longer beam. He's an instinctive player and surprisingly physical for his size. Great time.
He improves that.
175 pounds, but he's got some big hits.
4.4 flat. Eric DeCosta and Ozzie Newsome and the rest of the Ravens brass. No doubt sharing some times there. Again, Ozzie Newsome's final first-round draft choice is a man in charge of the Ravens draft before handing the reins off to Eric DeCosta was trading back into the first round for Lamar Jackson.
2-time MVP.
That is correct, sir. He was close to being a back-to-back MVP this year. He was the one who was first-team All-Pro at the position. Jason Marshall gets the whistle. Do it again.
He's got different shoes on, huh? You ever done that, Rich, for your 40?
I should try. Anything to switch it up. You know? The answer is no, I have not done
Okay. I think you would look faster, though. I think that just the...
I think we're past that point.
The difference in
DJ,
the shoes.
I think style points were past that point at this point in time.
Yeah.
But you've been on this. You noticed you were the first one to notice Scrooge McDuck on somebody's shoes last night. I forget whose shoes had Scrooge McDuck last night. Second run for Jason Marshall.
There you go.
A nice improvement.
He got a better start that time.
There you go. Good for him. Our first simulcam of the day, presented by Rocket. Quinyon Mitchell, Jade Barron, Trent McDuffie, and Brian Branch. Let's see who wins it. It is Barron trying to track down Mitchell, but holy Toledo, it is the man who won the Super Bowl this year. It's winning time for Quinyon Mitchell.
No question. What a year for him.
Back with more 40s, fast ones at that. All right, while we were gone, Mac McWilliams tried to better his 4.41. And he'll stick with the first.
That first one's a winning time. Holy cow. Stick with that. Be happy.
Jacob Parrish blew away a 4.440 his first time. And it's highly impressive what you're seeing out of that Kansas State defensive back. 4.38. Darian Porter almost ran a sub 4.3. And he'll stick with the 4.3 flat.
Look at how strong his stride is. He looks like a track star.
Caleb Ransaw flirted with a sub 4.340. And he did it again.
Almost looked like he eased up into a 4.35.
Quincy Riley. 4.5 flat. Stick with the 4.49.
Match the expectation for a really good player.
We're back live with Jalen Smith. The Trojan ran a 4.45 his first time.
He's a good player. His only thing is just gets a little bit grabby down the field a little bit, and that's not something you're going to see at the combine. He stumbled though.
4.45.
Great time.
I've seen some grabby around our craft services, to be honest. It's a long weekend, 6-hour shows. Stacey Dales, take it away.
6-hour shows are worth it when you have Mad Max performances, Rich. I just spoke to Maxwell Hairston. He is so pumped. This is what the combine's all about. He wanted a 4.28. That was his target training for this thing. He ended up with the unofficial 4.29. He said the start was much more aggressive than his first run. He was aggressive with his arms through the drive phase, which, I mean, he took me through each phase, and then he said at the end, I just cut it loose like somebody was chasing me down. The smile on this guy's face. I'm telling you what, the feedback on this player this week, and you spend just 10 seconds with him, and you're right in his camp. Great job by the young man.
There he is, DB10. Again, at 4.3 flat, had him shaking his head. 4.29 had him celebrating with his group mates. And,
little things mean a lot there.
Hey, he could wind up with a 4.28. If you remember last year, we thought Xavier Worthy had tied John Ross because our unofficial time had the 4.22, and then the official time had him 4.21.
Turns out he got him. Yeah, that's
Upton
better.
Stout
That's
with an
more
improvement.
like it. Yeah, I thought he would run faster than that 4.5 flat. That's a good time for him. Mentioned Ladarius Webb going in the Wayback Machine to 2009. Ladarius Webb ran 4.46, so pretty darn close there. Their jumps were an inch apart on the vertical, 36.5 to 37.5. 2 pounds difference. That's what is so cool about the combine. You start stacking up year after year after year. You can go back a ways and find some similarities.
Dorian Strong. 4.51. Will Travis Hunter run at his pro day? Is that the expectation, or it's just like that doesn't even matter? Like what does it matter? Right?
I don't anticipate we'll see him do much. You know, we've seen that with some of the guys who were locked top 5 picks. Marvin Harrison being one last year, and
Marvin didn't do anything.
No,
he didn't even. If I'm not mistaken,
I don't
allow for his name to be put on a jersey, right? I mean, like that.
That was that was new. That was different.
A lot of new stuff from him.
I don't believe, and we'll get to the receivers, but Ted McMillan from Arizona, I don't believe is planning on running at all through the process.
Final 340s of the cornerback group. Justin Wally will stick with the first, and then we'll see the safeties get out. Group 5, Group 6 will be the first offensive group, and it will be O for the rest of the way. Receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks Saturday for the big day here with the Cowboys brass looking on. And then Sunday's the offensive line group, and obviously Stephen Jones and Will McClay will be looking at that offensive line group with the retirements over the last couple of years.
Yeah, they've got some things on the to-do list there. I do find it interesting that these suites probably have 20 seats in them a piece, and guys sit in the exact same chairs every single day.
Baxter just had to kind of whistled himself. And try again.
I'm
the
cool
same
with
seat policy. It's not a same seat policy in every booth.
I'm happy.
No, I just think in the scouting community and in the personnel community, it's creatures of habit, and they stay in the same hotels, eat the same breakfast, the same lunch, and sit in the same spots.
Not much variety, is what you're saying?
No. Big per diem savers in that profession. I was one of them.
Meaning what? You get the per diem and then you save.
Yeah, you get that little sandwich for $10 and pocket that per diem. Yeah.
Tricks of the trade from Daniel Jeremiah.
Yeah, look, hey, you live on per diem and Marriott points. That's how you survive.
Noel Williams, Cal, will be the last corner to run here.
The first game I watched with him was Auburn. He had 3 picks in that game. Then the next one I pop on is against Miami. He has a pick 6 against Cam Ward. I was like, geez, this guy's surely he can't do this in every single game, but those were good places to start.
And he finishes with a 4.5 4.40, which is also the final 40 of this group as well. So we're going to see them get out after running very fast 40s and checking major boxes. Barron and Hairston will be leading Group 4 out there on the field. His first run of a 4.3 40 had him shaking his head. And then 1/100th second better. There's the smiles.